Hi, I'm Max. I'm the creator behind Eat Rich Art. I use he, him and they, them pronouns, and I'm here to show you what I made this week. First of all, I'm going to say ignore this. I know I need to cut my hair. I know it's a mess. I know it just sticks up at all angles. We're working on it. It will get fixed at some point in the next couple of days, but I do not have the energy tonight to cut my hair, so I'm not going to. But yeah, right, the things I have made this week. So this week's been mostly Pride Market prep, I'm not gonna lie. We've got through 3 different flags worth of stuff, so I've got quite a lot of bits to show you in different flags. And then I did make one non-Pride item this week, which I don't actually have with me, so I'll pop a photo on the screen when we get to talking about that bit. But to start with, I made, so Sunday was the 3rd, Monday was the 4th. So to start with, I made this hoodie bear. So I'd made the hood and the arms on the Saturday before, I think, but on Monday I actually finished him and made him into a full bear. So we have a little turnaround. This is rust, candy floss, lilac and dark turquoise in the Yarn Smith Chenille Chunky. We have used, in total, obviously, not all of this was used this week, but we used up 87 grams of yarn in total on this guy. So that was 14 grams of lilac, 13 grams of candy floss, 16 grams of dark turquoise and 44 grams of rust, plus a little bit of the thin DK chenille to crochet the face, well, embroider the face, but I'm not counting that towards my stash as a whole because I bought it solely for embroidery, so I know it's going to take me ages to get through it because I don't do that much embroidery. But yeah, so this guy was made, well, finished on Monday. I started doing it as well where I do the flag backwards on the hood, so it goes from the bottom colour to the top colour so that it blends better on the front, and I really like the way that looks. So that was made on Monday. On Tuesday, things are a little bit out of order because I've been having like multiple whips at a time over the past couple of weeks. Just with the Pride Market prep, it makes it a bit less boring if I do 2 sets of hoods and sleeves for a hoodie bear rather than every time I do it having to go through the full pattern. But yeah, so if I'm taking a sec to find the next thing I've made, it's because I'm trying to work out what was done on what day and what was actually finished and when and all of this stuff. So right, we started and finished Toothless last week. We started and finished the Lesbian Turtle last week. Monday, after I'd finished the hoodie bear, because I was a little bit behind on my prep goals, I started on the next item, which was this guy. This is the Wizard Cat by Hugurumi Toys. So on Monday I made his arms, his ears and his tail, and then I finished him on Tuesday. It's adorable. This is Banat Tabby for the cat colour, with that's a bit of the Banat Peachy from the hat and the cape I also used for the nose, and then Elise Voluto for the white. And a full turnaround. I thought I didn't have enough of the tabby to finish this guy off, and then I've still got a bit of the tabby left, so I probably should have done him just purely tabby instead of adding bits in white, but it's fine. We can find a way to use that scrap that's left. But yeah, really happy with him, really happy with the way he's turned out, and he is a lesbian wizard because he has the Banat Peachy for his hat and his cape, and that is the lesbian pride flag. But yeah, I just thought he was really cute. I love the way this yarn works up for cats. I'm hoping someone else loves him as much as I do. So he will be, I forgot to say, the hoodie bears are £15 when I sell them. This guy is going to be £30 when he's on the table because he's adorable and he's huge, so he's worth it. So that was him. So yeah, started him Monday night, finished him Tuesday morning to sort of catch up with my goals for the week because I have so much stuff to make for the Pride markets. and I don't know if I'm going to get done, so I've had to make a very clear plan and very rigidly hold myself to it. So don't get me wrong, I'm still taking breaks for my wrists when I need to, I'm still getting bits of my books read, I'm still like trying to look after my hands and wrists, but the prep is on, the crunch is here, and I still have, well, half of the pan flag left to do, spoiler. The Men Loving Men flag, non-binary, and then arrow and ace, so I've still got 4.5 flags left to do in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Whoops, bit off a little bit more than I could chew there, but we're fine, we've got a plan, we'll be fine. Anyway, I've gone on a tangent. Where to get to? Wizard Cat took yarn. He did. He took 183 grams of yarn in total, so 116 grams off the tabby, and I say that and a tabby cat's walking past my window right now. Hey buddy. Adorable. So 116 grams of tabby, 24 grams of white, and 43 grams of the peachy. Oh, I'm dropping things today. I'm all over the place. I'm very sorry. This video might be a bit chaotic. So yeah, that was the Wizard Cat, finished on Tuesday. Then luckily I managed to catch back up with my goals because I'd given myself a very easy task to do for Tuesday. So the way I've structured the market prep is that Monday to Wednesday-ish I have something quite small and quick that I'm batch making, so the beans, the frogs, the axolotls, or I'm starting on a hoodie bear or starting on a capybara, so that if things get busy over the weekend or I'm behind from the week before, it's very easy to catch up because these are things I know will only take me 2-3 hours maximum to get finished, depending on how distracted I am. So then I've got the rest of the day to catch up on whatever I'm behind on. So that worked very well for me on Tuesday because I then got the 2 bisexual beans the frogs made. This is Candy Floss Lilac and Dark Turquoise in Yarnsmiths, and each of these guys took 7 grams of lilac, 5 grams of candy floss, and 9 grams of dark turquoise for a total of 21 grams of yarn. So they're very quick and easy to make, and they don't take that much yarn either, which is nice. So that was those guys on Tuesday. So then on Wednesday I was back on track with my plan, so I made sure that I was again taking lots of breaks, resting my wrists when I'd finished my thing for the day, and then just chilling after that. Yeah, I actually finished a book this week, which was very nice for the first time since the start of April. So the next thing I made on Wednesday was some axolotls. So this is the pattern by Loretta's Loops. We made one in the full flag, and that was 11 grams candy floss, 9 grams of lilac, and 6 grams of dark turquoise. Then we made one in the light blue with the flappy bits being the flag, and that took 1 gram each of these, so that's candy floss, lilac and turquoise again, and then 20 grams of the sky blue. And then the same with the pink one, 20 grams of the baby pink, and then 1 gram each for the flappy bits. And that was Wednesday. Now I kind of wish that I took the opportunity on Wednesday to start something else, because then I fell behind very rapidly, but that's fine. We've caught back up again now. We've ended the week on track, so we're okay. But that was because on Wednesday I did the axolotls. Thursday I had a very busy day, so I had physio in the morning, and then anyone who's ever used public transport in my area knows that getting anywhere takes way longer than it needs to do. It just does. So it took me ages to get home, and then I had to go straight to work, and then after work pretty much, because I'd had to move my hours around a bit and play with my hours a bit to make sure that I was getting my full working time in around physio. I ended up working till 5:30 when I usually only work till 4, 4:30, because I do an early start. But even though I'd done the early start, I still had to take like 3-4 hours out of the day to go to physio. So yeah, I finished at 5:30. And by that point my partner was like, I'm hungry, and I was like, so am I. So I went straight into making food, and then we ate food, and then we cleaned up after eating food, and then by that point I had a migraine. So yeah, pretty much went straight to bed. But I still managed, in between all of that, during like travel and stuff, and just when I needed like a 5-minute break from whatever I was doing at work, I managed to start on a Cerberus. So this is the Handmade by Nicole pattern, and look at him, he's adorable. So yeah, between bits of work I was doing like a tail or an ear, or like just anything that would take literally 5 minutes for me to just get 1 or 2 done, and then I could go back to work. So yeah, this guy took me from Thursday evening until like early morning Saturday. Because on Saturday, so I'm filming this on Sunday, it's my sister's birthday today, happy birthday to my sister, but we went to see her yesterday, because she's really far away and I can't drive yet, so yeah, my parents took us up to see her, and then we got back sort of 7ish at night. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Before we left in the morning, we left at 9 in the morning, I woke up about 7:30. So I was like literally frantically, my partner can attest, before we left, trying to both untangle and wind a ball up and out, but also crochet from it, to try and get this guy done, because at that point I had all of the bits to sew on made, but all of the heads were still in a pile on the sofa, the tails were in a pile with the heads. I hadn't made the bandanas yet. I was like frantically crocheting up the body to try and get the legs attached and all of that, so they wasn't just in a pile of stuff by the time I got back. Didn't quite get there. I got to the point where everything was made, it just wasn't sewn together before we left, and then when we got back I sewed it all together, because I was like, I do not want this project sitting around for another day when I'm already quite behind on like getting the next few things done, because of how long that taken me, and basically ended up not having any crocheting time on Thursday because of my health and then everything else that was happening. So yeah, it was Thursday was an interesting day. So like I said, Thursday I started doing bits of ears and tails and things. Then Friday I made basically the rest of the heads, and then I had to pause making this guy to make something else, which I'll talk about in a second. Then Saturday obviously finished and assembled. So all in all, I'd say it took me about 4 or 5 hours. Just obviously I didn't have 4 or 5 hours to sit and work on it. That was in chunks of about an hour at a time, over about 3 days. Then in total it used 5 grams, 4 grams and 3 grams. Sorry, I'm not showing it you properly. 5 grams candy floss, right? 4 grams of the dark turquoise and 3 grams of the lilac for the bandanas. These are just free-handed, these aren't on the pattern, but you can take them off, you can untie them, and they do come fully off. I just can't be bothered to take one off right now because the way the heads are sewn together quite tightly means that you do have to pull it off a bit. But yeah, so they do come off. Then the Banat Blanket Dove, which has been used for the rest of it, was 239 grams for a total of 251 grams. We can see they have the By Pride flag in the eyes as well, because he's a By Pride plush, just a very subtle one. So yeah, that took most of the rest of the second half of my week. Friday night, like I said, I had to stop crocheting him for a sec because I remembered that I've been promising to make a sunflower hat for my sister's fishing otter since Christmas, and it's now May. It's a very quick project as well, so I don't know why I didn't get around to it, and it's colours that I have in quite often because I use a lot of yellow and brown. So I don't know why I hadn't made it till this point, but it got to Friday. I went, bugger, we're seeing her tomorrow for her birthday, and I wanted to make it for her birthday, so I very frantically crocheted and wrapped it yesterday, and therefore didn't get a photo. Well, I did get a photo before I wrapped it, but didn't get a photo of it on her otter, because her otter is with her at her place, and I didn't get the chance to get her to put the hat on the otter for me to take a nice photo. So here's the photo I did take, somewhere on the screen. This is using the hat from the Crocheted by Lila's Fish and Otter pattern as a base. So I did the top of the hat from the pattern. In fact, I did the whole hat pattern. I just changed to yellow when I got to the bit that's for the brim, and then I did an extra round where I went round, and I did single crochet, half double crochet with a picot, half double single, half double double, picot, etc. around and around, so it made the petals, right? And that took 12 grams of yellow and 9 grams of rust, for a total of 21 grams of yarn used. So if you do want to make the sunflower hat, I can give you the pattern for it, but basically you just need to follow the Crocheted by Lila's one, and then I'll give you the pattern that I used for the petals, because I just freehanded that bit basically. But yeah, so that's what I did on Friday night. Then on Saturday, I knew we'd have a lot of time in the car, because like I said, I weren't driving, I could crochet, I took advantage. So I made the next couple of bits that I needed to make to catch back up with the plan for the crochet. So the bit that I was meant to make on Friday that I didn't end up making because I was focusing on getting the Cerberus done and the hat for my sister, because if it weren't for the hat I would have got Cerberus done Friday night, but I needed to get that hat done anyway. I made this guy. He's a little goofy, but we love him. He's the reason I've not got much pink left to do the pan flags with, but I'll tell you more about that in the pan flag video. So this guy is the Triceratops Snuggler by Luna Crochet Cottage. It's a free Instagram pattern. You'll notice I said snuggler and he's stuffed, and that's because I don't like snugglers, but I do really like the way that this pattern looked in the pattern photo. I will say I didn't use big enough eyes on him, and he's ended up a little wonky because I sewed the frill on a little wonky, and also I wish I'd lengthened it because I just don't feel like it's long enough. So I'm not like the happiest with this situation, but luckily the body of the snuggler was done in single crochet, so I could stuff it, which is good because again I don't like snugglers, but I couldn't find a good Triceratops pattern for free, and I didn't really want to buy one because I spent loads on yarn for this upcoming market, so I'm trying to keep all of my other costs low so that I do actually make some profit. Otherwise I'm not going to, and I want some more yarn money, please and thank you, because I'm burning through my yarn like there's no tomorrow doing this pride prep. But yeah, so this was a free pattern because I wanted something that was quite sort of sizable. I didn't want just the little loaf Triceratops, and that was the only other pattern I could find for free really. So I did this guy. I do love him. I do think he's cute. I just think there was a couple of things I needed to do to not mess the pattern up. But anyway, he used 78 grams of baby pink, 7 grams of lilac, 4 grams dark turquoise and 2 grams of white for the horns, plus a pair of 18mm eyes, but I should have put 20s in. And yeah, so I did. This was actually a really quick pattern. So by the time we got up to my sister's, that was probably an hour and 45 in the car, I think. And I'd made the head, the frill, the body, obviously not sewn any of it together because I didn't take any stuffing with me, plus 2 of the feet in an hour and 45, which crocheting in the car does slow me down, and also I was yapping at the same time, so I think that's not bad. If I hadn't been yapping so much I probably would have finished it in the car, obviously apart from stuffing and sewing it together, but yeah, that was that guy anyway. Yeah, and then while I was there the last couple of bits I needed to do to get caught up with my plan was a couple of beans to the frogs. So we sat, we chilled, we had food, and while we were chatting and having food, I made 2 pansexual beans to the frogs. This is the Girl Who Knots pattern. I use it a lot. I think I've already shown you some in this video, but yeah, this is baby pink, sky blue and lemon yellow in the Yarnsmith Chanel Chunky. So this took 5 grams of each colour each frog, so 15 grams each frog. And yeah, that was everything I made on Saturday. Then once we got back from up north, I assembled this guy and stuffed him, and then also stuffed and assembled this guy, and that was what I spent my evening doing. And then today I've been trying to do a bit of cleaning here and there. Body is not agreeing very well with it, but still trying to push through and get a couple of bits done. But at the same time as I've done that, I've been sorting out filming bits of videos, because obviously I've finished some plushies so I can film the next bit of the buy video and stuff like that. And then I've also been getting ready to film the next bit of the pan video, which I'm going to film after this. So I wanted to make sure that I had the axolotls done so that I could finish my small but not keychain plushies section of the video. So we have 3. This again is the Loretta's Loops pattern. So we have one that's the full flag using candy floss, lemon yellow and sky blue, and this one took 10 grams of candy floss, 9 grams of lemon yellow and 6 grams of sky blue to do that one. Then we have one that's sky blue with the pink and yellow flappy bits, and this one took 21 grams of sky blue, 2 grams of candy floss and 1 gram of lemon yellow. And we have one that's in the lemon yellow with the blue and pink flappy bits, and this one took 20 grams of lemon yellow, 1 gram of candy floss and 2 grams of sky blue. And that, ladies, gentlemen and gremlins, is everything I have made this week. But yeah, it's been a good week. It's been a productive week. We have made many things this week. 2 large plushies, 2 sort of medium plushies, and then 10 small plushies, plus an otter hat this week, which I don't think is bad going whatsoever. And yeah, I've had fun. So let me know in the comments which one's your favourite, because mine's definitely this guy. If you've ever tried the banat twist before, let me know, because I don't really see many other people talking about it, and I love it. Like, I absolutely love this yarn. Review of this colour in particular coming up in my yarn review in July. I think it will be by the time I get that actually finished and edited and out, because I'm trying to do that in between all of the Pride prep, and not a lot of that yarn is Pride yarn, so that will be coming at some point in July once all of the Pride stuff's done. But yeah, I'm really happy with that yarn, so if you've used it before, please let me know, because I want to see other things people have made in that yarn, because it just turns out so cute once it's made. Same with the banat tabby. I've never really seen anyone say that they've used that either. I've seen a load of people use the banat peachy because it's cute, but yeah, let me know, yeah, which one was your favourite, and if you've used any of that yarn before. Subscribe and like if you want to see anything more that I make. I have a Ko-fi store that has all of these plushies on. I drop a what I made this week video every Monday between 2 and 3 p.m. UK time. I drop a well, at the minute it's going to be a Pride prep video every Friday between 2 and 3 UK time. But after that, once I'm done with the Pride prep, it will be market vlogs, yarn reviews, pattern reviews, making challenges, market prep, all sorts of stuff drops on a Friday. Basically anything that's not what I made this week will drop on a Friday. I also have a chronic illness tips video coming up for people who want to do markets but are chronically ill, and some management tips to help make markets a bit easier. Yeah, I think that is everything I have to say, so I'm gonna go, I'm gonna stop yapping. Yeah, like, subscribe, hype the video if you can hype it, comment, share, follow me on Instagram, check out my Ko-fi store, do all of the things I'm meant to do, tell you to do as a YouTubey person, and thank you again for watching, and have a nice day.